Hello everyone. Today I am doing another unboxing of a Universal Yums box. If you're unfamiliar with Universal Yums, they give you snacks from a particular country each month. Each month the country is a surprise. It says it's from the birthplace of Picasso. So, let's open this up and take a look at what's inside. So, this one says, "Welcome to Spain." Inside is a booklet. And in this booklet, there's a variety of facts about Spain, trivia, and information about each step. So, let's start off with the first one. La Abuela Neves. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I apologize if I'm not. Artisan potato chips. And it actually says that they are Iberian ham-flavored potato chips. So here's what the description says. Visiting Spain without having a bite of ham? It's unheard of. Ham is the crown jewel of traditional Spanish cuisine, featured everywhere from tapas plates to breakfast tables. You can't walk through the streets of Spain without seeing dozens of ham legs hanging from butcher shop windows. Among the countless varieties of specialty Spanish hams, there's one that's considered the best of the best, Iberian ham. This delicacy is made with meat from Iberico hogs, which are fed a special diet of acorns and olives. The meat is cured for up to 3 years. Talk about patience. The result is a complex, intense flavor with an unparalleled sweetness. We had to give you a taste, but fortunately for the Iberico hogs, there's no meat in this recipe. Instead, you get the bold, full-bodied flavor of the Iberian ham mixed with crispy thin potatoes. Just try not to hog the whole bag. And as you can see from the ingredients, there's no ham in it. So I'm curious to see how it tastes. So we'll put this book aside for now. And you can see that the chips are on top. Very ham flavored. So let's open this up, see how it tastes. Here's the chips. Yeah, it actually does smell like ham. Let's take a taste. That's actually really good. You do get that smoky ham taste mixed with the potato chip. I don't know how they do it. It's really good. I really like that. So when you take a bite, the first flavor you get is that smoky ham taste. And then after that, you get the general potato chip taste. That was a success, number 1. I'll put this aside. So, So our next sweet is a Mantecato Doble de Limon, lemon shortbread cookies. No idea what you're holding in your hands? Well, it's only Spain's most sought after treat. Manteca means butter in Spanish, so you can guess what the main ingredient of this dessert is. What's harder to guess is what it exactly is. Cake, cookie, something in between? The story of this sweet started over 500 years ago in the southern city of Estepa. At the time, the region was producing a surplus of butter and wheat. Originally, nuns in Estepa used the extra butter and wheat to make tortas de manteca, butter cakes, which they sold to people in town. But in 1870, a businesswoman named Filomena Ruiz Tellez did something different. She made the nuns butter cakes, but changed the recipe by drying them in the oven, which turned them into crumbly, tender, melt-in-your-mouth mantecados. These dried cookies could travel much farther and didn't grow mold as quickly as the nuns' moist butter cakes. Her husband traveled across Spain selling them, turning Ms. Tellez into a very rich lady. Today, over 40 million pounds of mantecado are made in the Estepa region of Spain each year, including the special lemon variety you hold in your hands, or kind of hold in your hands. They're very, very crumbly. So let's take a try. So they came in this bag. Here they are, Mantecato Doble. Let's open them up. Okay, let's take this piece here and give it a try. That's nice and refreshing. So it's dry, it's buttery, very crumbly. The lemon is not overpowering. There's a nice hint of a sweet flavor. And with the dryness, I think it would go well with a cup of coffee. That's nice. It's very refreshing. Okay, so as you can see, it's a fairly large cookie. And they actually gave us 2 of these, so plenty to try. If you're interested in the box, I would recommend it because you can share this unboxing with a friend or 2. Okay, so let's move on to the third sweet called La Casa Truffles, chocolate truffles with cappuccino or dark chocolate. Chocolate, it's delicious. We all know that. What you might not know is Spain's role in turning chocolate into the most famous flavor in the world. The story starts during Christopher Columbus's 4th journey to the New World, where he found cocoa beans being used by natives as coins in the Bay of Honduras. When he brought the beans back to Spain, the royals ignored him, focusing instead on the stuff that made up their own coins, gold and silver. It wasn't until Columbus's fellow explorer, Hernan Cortez, brought more cocoa beans to Spain and showed Spanish royalty how to prepare them in a chocolate drink, that the beans got their big break. With additions like cinnamon, nutmeg, and sugar, chocolate soon became a fashionable drink among the Spanish upper class. Spain guarded the recipe from the rest of Europe for over 100 years. But as we all know, the delicious secret didn't stay hidden. In the early 1600s, Italian explorers discovered the beans in America, and the French adopted chocolate into their cuisine soon after. Once the secret was out, there was no stopping it. Chocolate soon spread everywhere across Europe. Today, chocolatiers in Spain take the country's long history with chocolate seriously, as you'll discover from these decadent cocoa truffles. Dense, creamy dark chocolate has been dusted with a light layer of bittersweet cocoa powder for the ultimate melt-in-your-mouth experience. And you can see that there's two different types, the ingredients for dark chocolate and the ingredients for the cappuccino one. So I'm excited to try these because I am a chocolate lover. So there we are, chocolate truffles. Let's open this up. We can see what they look like inside. So here they are. This one's stuck together. Pull that apart. It looks like a large Hershey's Kiss, a dark chocolate type. You can see. It's soft. Let's take a try. Wow, that is heaven. That is so good. It's chocolatey, it's intense, it's a little bitter, not too bitter at all though. A little bit of sweetness. It balances itself really nicely. If you're looking for something chocolatey, it gives you that intense chocolatey flavor. This one has dark chocolate in it, no hint of cappuccino, but you can taste the dark chocolate influences. You can see it's really dark in there. There's plenty in here. But wow, that is really, really good. So if you're a chocolate lover like I am, definitely recommend this. Okay, so far so good. I really like this box so far. So let's move on to this barbecue snack mix with corn nuts. Puntazos mixed cocktail de maíz. I'm not sure if that's how you say it. Most people go to the bar to get away from family, but in Spain, they do the opposite. They bring their family to the bar. Unlike the bar scenes in other cultures, Spanish bars are considered places to gather and socialize with family throughout all hours of the day, not just at night. And for those who don't drink, there's still another reason to go to the bar: the snacks, specifically the corn nuts. Served in bottomless bowls and eaten by the handful, these crunchy fried corn kernels are the definition of bar food in Spain. With this yum, you'll get a small taste of the most famous snack food in Spain, plus a whole lot more. Rice puffs and salty corn chips complement the corn nuts for a one-of-a-kind snack mix. Whether you decide to eat these with family, with alcohol, or both, or neither, we think after one bite you'll understand why the Spaniards love them as much as we do. Snack mix, barbecue flavor. I'll open these up. You can take a try. As you can see, there's different shapes, circles and stars. Okay, Mm, that's very good. The barbecue's light. They're nice and crunchy. I'll try one of the stars here. Mm, that's really good. I like that snack mix a lot. It's very easy to crunch on. It's not overpowering, just the slightest barbecue flavor. That's really good. Okay, so you can see you have a variety in there. A good healthy dose of snacks. Wow, Spain is doing a great job. I've loved all four of the snacks so far. It's going to be hard to choose my favorite. So far, I love the truffles, but I also really like the corn nut snack and the potato chips. And we've just gotten started. So let's continue. So, next is the San Andreas Calidad Suprema, a creamy almond nougat. It's not every day you see something that's over 500 years old, let alone eat it. But today is that day. This famous nutty nougat, called turrón, was first introduced to the Spanish town of Gijona by Arabic settlers in the early 1500s. Turrón consists of three simple ingredients: roasted almonds, egg whites, and honey. But that's where the simplicity ends. The iconic treat has strict naming guidelines and rules. It can only be called turrón Alicante or hard turrón if there are whole almonds inside and it has a crunchy, hard texture. Soft turrón, like the one you're holding, must be made from ground almonds and is called turrón Gijona, after the town where it was first made famous. For both variations, there is a supreme variety, like this one, which is classified as such if it's made with over 50% almonds. This one has an impressive 60%. The rich, creamy texture of this supreme turrón Gijona reminds us of peanut butter, and its flavor, well, that's something you'll just have to try for yourself. All we can say is that this famous treat has stood the test of time, and you're about to discover why. So you can see the ingredient list. There's not many ingredients, as they said. So let's try this almond nougat. It has a little bit hard consistency, so it doesn't crumble. Let's open this up and give it a try. So I've just broken off a piece. It actually crumbles. You can see what's inside. You can see it. Let's give it a try. Yeah, so I understand what they say by sort of having to decide for yourself what it tastes like. It's sort of like a ground up almond paste. It's a little sweet. Take another taste. Yep, I would say an almond paste. I don't think I could eat too much of it just because of the texture and the flavor. but I'm getting the almonds, I'm getting the honey, and I think the egg whites is what makes it kind of light. Not bad. Okay. So now we're going to move on to something I've never had before, which is olive oil cookies. Olive oil in a cookie? Hey, don't knock it till you try it. And by it, we mean Spanish olive oil. Olives were first brought to Spain in 1050 BC, but it was the Romans who began the cultivation of the trees throughout the country, calling the oil liquid gold. Today, there are 300 million olive trees across Spain, producing some of the highest quality oil in the world, which certainly lives up to its Roman nickname. Olives used for Spanish olive oil are carefully selected and picked by hand. Most never even touch the ground. But as good as the people of Spain are at making liquid gold, they're even better at eating it. Whether it's drizzled over salad or used to marinate meat, Spanish olive oil is incorporated into nearly every traditional dish. Our favorite use? These chewy Spanish tortas. The olive oil is baked with cinnamon, almonds, and anise, turning it into a treat so delicious you might start eyeing the bottle of olive oil on your kitchen counter. Okay, so let's give these a try. I'm going to open this up and give it a try. Here's the cookie. And let's crumble off a piece. Give it a try. That's really unique. It's a little dry, but that olive oil, it does come through. And I'm getting a little bit of the cinnamon and the anise. Try another piece. Yeah, when I smell it, it smells like cinnamon and anise, and that's what it definitely tastes like. The olive oil, I think, just kind of makes it smooth. It's good. It's like nothing I've ever had. I could definitely see myself eating this again with like a cup of coffee, hot chocolate, cappuccino, similar to the lemon shortbread. It also says it has ground almonds in it. I'm not getting that taste, but I am getting hints of the cinnamon and the anise. Yeah, almost like a really light gingerbread. Yeah, when you smell it, it kind of has that smell, but it's not as overpowering. It's very light. Great. As you can see with each box, they give you 2. So again, really great for sharing. Okay. So next is Vidal Spicy Mangoes. Spicy Mango Gummies. Mango and milk aren't 2 things you would typically think of putting together until right now. But you'll need milk for this yum, so pour a glass and find out why. In 1963, the Vidal family sought to create a confectionery company that would win over candy throughout Spain. Early on, they succeeded by making a chocolate-covered marshmallow that delighted the country for a while. In 1981, they created a licorice covered in sugar, people were impressed for a little bit. In 1992, the family created a liquid-filled bubblegum that pleased everyone for a few years. Today, the family continues to push the envelope with a range of eye-popping confections, most notably these mangoes. It might say spicy on the package, but what it really means is very spicy. After the first few chews, that mild tropical fruitiness will give way to a warm, tingling sensation, and then you'll have to grab that glass of milk we mentioned earlier. We wouldn't have our candies any other way but exciting, and for that, we have the ever-persistent Vidal family to thank. That's interesting. I've never had a spicy gummy before. I actually really like their ideas. I love chocolate-covered marshmallows, licorice and sugar. That sounds interesting. And liquid-filled bubblegum. So, yeah, let's give these a try. I don't have milk, but I do have some water, so hopefully it's not too spicy. But we shall see. So here they are, and they're actually pretty big. So I'm going to open this up, give it a try. So they're kind of moon-shaped. Let's take a bite. They're really gummy. Okay, so as I'm chewing them, I'm getting that mango taste, and right away, there is that spiciness on my tongue. Whew. And it gets stronger with each bite, and as you're digesting it. Yeah, that's interesting. I've never had something like that before. So I just took a small bite of it, and it starts off with that mango flavor, and then you get the heat in your throat. And I'm definitely getting the heat, but it's not overwhelming. I'm sure if I eat a lot of these, though, I would definitely need some milk. But not bad. Yeah, this is really interesting to try. They sound like a really inventive company. Okay. So next we have La Cositos Gold Caramel White Chocolate Candies. If you're looking for gold 2,000 years ago, Spain was a pretty good place to find it. In the northern province of Leon, tiny flecks of gold flowed through the creeks and rivers, and prospectors searching for deposits quickly took over the region. During the time of the Roman Empire, sophisticated canals were built so that could dislodge rock materials in water and expose the treasure. If you're looking for gold in Spain today, we've got good news. We found it for you. Open up the golden tube and you'll find a chocolate gold mine. Not only is the color of the candy gold, but the inside is too, blending together just the right amount of white chocolate and caramel. With a sweet, buttery flavor and light, crispy crunch, this is the gold standard of candy. Unfortunately, this kind of gold won't make you rich, but it sure will make your taste buds happy. Okay, so let's give this a try. So here it is. Open it up. We can have a try. So here they are. They kind of look like large M&Ms. There we go. Got good orange. So let's give it a try. Yeah, so when you first bite into it, it's like an M&M, but the flavor is distinctly white chocolate and caramel, just like it said. I'm getting mostly the white chocolate. And no, I'm not usually a white chocolate fan, but it's actually pretty good. It's kind of nice and refreshing. It's not too much. Get a little bit of that caramel, but the white chocolate, definitely white chocolate flavor. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with that one. Okay. So, we have 5 more to go. So next is Shiki Shin Barbacoa. Barbecue potato snack. For some Americans, summer means visiting the beach. For others, it means attending baseball games. But for most, summer means it's time to barbecue. Juicy hamburger patties, saucy ribs, charred chicken. Barbecue meats have become a quintessential part of American culture. But, contrary to popular belief, barbecue is not an American invention. Centuries ago, in Barbados, a native tribe called the Taínos used large fire pits to cook their food. They would marinate their meats with tropical spices, then slow roast them atop layers of fig leaves. This style of cooking, which they called Barbacoa, or sacred fire pit, was superb at enhancing flavor and preserving the food after cooking. Early Spanish explorers quickly adopted the technique, calling it barbacoa, a term which eventually became broader in meaning to apply to food cooked slowly over an open fire. As they traveled north, the explorers spread barbacoa into the present-day South American states like Virginia and the Carolinas. It might be a bit too early in the season for a good old American barbecue, but this snack more than makes up for it. Packed with all the bold, meaty flavor that Spanish barbacoa is known for, these fluffy crisps are a big bite of summer in the middle of spring. What I love about the Universal Yums box is that you always learn something. I didn't realize that the Spanish explorers who learned it from the native tribe brought barbecue over to America. Interesting. So, let's try this. I think this is the one right on top. Let's open it up, give it a try. It is shaped like this. Let's give it a try. Yep. So these are similar to the barbecue chips that we tried first, but they're more like that rice cake material. They're light. You get the barbecue flavor at the end. Yeah, those are good. Okay. All right. So next we have chocolate covered candied oranges. Pack your bags because we're headed to Valencia. Situated on the beautiful eastern coast, the orchid of Spain grows the best oranges in Europe. Big, round, sweet oranges from Valencia are sought after throughout Spain and beyond. But before the orchids export their oranges, they keep the best ones for themselves. It's only the smallest, sweetest, and juiciest fruit that they hoard, and that's what you get to try with this candy. But you know what's even better than oranges straight from Valencia? Oranges covered in a thick layer of bittersweet chocolate. The bright citrus flavor balances perfectly with the creamy chocolate for a treat so good you'll want another immediately. Aren't you glad we included two? Okay, so I'm gonna open this up. We can give it a try. So this is what it looks like. And you can smell the dark chocolate. Let's break it apart if we can. And inside you can see it's that orange crystallized. So let's take a bite. Wow. So you get that burst of orange flavor when you eat this. The dark chocolate complements it well. So the orange is the real star here. When you eat it, you immediately get that burst of orange flavor. The dark chocolate tries to bring a little bitterness, a little chocolate, but really the orange is the star there. So if you like candied oranges, I think you would like that. So just like Spain has tapas, in this yum bag they try to give us a variety pack of some of the finest bites of Spain. So we have 3 different items in a bag, starting off with the pistachio toffee. It says, it's peak flowering season in Spain this month. But we're not talking about tulips and daisies. We're talking about pistachios. Pistachio trees have been flowering for centuries, as far back as 7000 BC to be exact. Thriving in sunny climates, the trees were first cultivated in Spain around 37 AD. Spanish royalty adored the nuts, and that certainly hasn't changed in the past 2,000 years. Pistachios are beloved across the country for their deep, nutty flavor and balance of sweet and salty. You'll get to taste all that and more with these creamy, chewy, pistachio-filled toffees. So here it is. Here we go. Let's give it a try. So it's actually really hard. I can't even bite into it. So I just have to suck it. So as I'm sucking it, I'm definitely getting the pistachio flavor. That flavor's front and center. Like I said, it's really hard, so you can't bite into it. But it has a nice flavor. Nice and refreshing. It reminds me of kind of sucking on a toffee or chocolate covered lifesaver, if that makes any sense. I actually like it. Like I said, it's very hard, so you can't bite into it, but I'm liking the flavor. Okay. Yeah, I liked that better than I thought. So, let's move on to the chocolate bonbon with biscuit. There's a royal wedding coming up next month, and if we're lucky, all of us will get a cookie. Yes, a cookie. After all, it's a royal wedding tradition. In 1874, Maria Alexandrovna, Russia's Grand Duchess, married the Duke of Edinburgh in London. To mark the occasion, a small English bakery created a sweet, round cookie called the long, long after. Today, it's the most common cookie in the world, sold everywhere from Pakistan to Sweden, though not often in the US. But there's no country that loves it quite like Spain. After the Spanish Civil War, it became a symbol of the country's economic recovery, which is hastened by a healthy wheat crop that allowed farmers to export Maria cookies. With this treat, you'll get a taste of the light, not too sweet Maria cookies, in addition to whole roasted hazelnuts, creamy custard filling, and sweet milk chocolate. Eat it now because who knows, maybe next month Maria cookies will be old news in flavor of cookies named Megan. Okay, let's give these a try. So this is what it looks like. Let's bite in and give it a try. So it's very creamy with a little bit of crunch from the outside. It's sweet. And inside was one hazelnut, which was very good. You can see all the cream. That's good if you're looking for something sweet and creamy. It reminds me of Ferrero Rocher, just less hazelnuts because there was only one in this one. I think I'd like a few more hazelnuts to balance out the creamy taste, but otherwise it's really tasty. Okay. And last but certainly not least, we have chocolate with pine nuts. Chocolate and nuts always seem to go together, but this month were nuts to bring you the classic combination. Why? It nearly broke the bank. Pine nuts are some of the most expensive nuts on earth. Pine nuts come from pine cones. Who knew? And must be extracted by hand after removing 2 layers of hard outer shell. Next time you're in the forest, you can partake in the labor-intensive ritual, but be aware that there are only about 20 species of pine trees that have pine nuts large enough to warrant harvesting. Fortunately, with these candies, you don't have to worry about doing any work or how much they cost. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the rich, buttery taste of pine nuts in every chocolatey bite. Okay. So here they are. Let's open them up. This is what it looks like. Let's give it a try. So those are really hard, just like the pistachio toffees. But as I chewed into them, you can definitely get the pine nut flavor. It's a very strong pine nut flavor, and I think the chocolate tries to cut through the nutty flavor, but it's very little overpowering for me. I think I like the pistachio toffee better than the chocolate with pine nuts. Okay, so those are all of our treats. We tried a lot of different ones today, and for the most part, I liked them all a lot. So now I have to choose my favorite, my runner-up, my worst yum, and the most unusual. That's going to be tough. I think for the most unusual, I have to go with the spicy mangoes. Just because I've never had a gummy that has that kick of spice before. So that one would be my most unusual. For my worst yum, that's a difficult one. I think it would be for me between the toffee that we tried before, just because it tasted more like a paste, and so I don't know how much I would eat, and the last one, the chocolate pine nut, I didn't like as much as some of the others. Okay, so my best yum and my runner-up. Well, by and far, my favorite was the chocolate truffles. This was really good, and I could definitely see myself eating those over and over. The runner-up is difficult. They all were very good. I thought the chips were good. I liked the corn nut mix. The white chocolate gold actually had a nice flavor. And I did enjoy the pistachio toffee. So it's hard to pick a runner-up, but I think in thinking about what I would eat more of, I think it's going to go to the cocktail mix as my runner-up. So, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed looking at the Universal Yum box and all the good snacks they give you. I would highly recommend them. You never know which country you're going to get and the different types of snacks. But I can say that I've done 3 boxes now, and I've never tried any of the snacks inside. So it's a nice experience to try snacks that you have a difficult time getting here in the United States. And even if you don't like some of them, it's fun to at least try it and share them with friends and family. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.